Hey guys, it's Faye with Solar Flow, and I am back with another video today. So today what I actually want to discuss is part 2 of New York. And the reason that I want to do this video is because after I had done part 1, a few of you actually reached out to me and were like, hey Faye, what gives? You stopped your video just as you were getting to the good part. So that's kind of why I want to do a part 2 to it today. And also just to explain that when looking at the energy of an environment or of a city or of a state, there's a number of different components that go into it because there are a number of different layers. So first of all, there's the environment of the place and how that actually can influence the energy. And then there's also the behind the veil. And today, what we're actually going to be discussing is the behind the veil of New York. So to recap what I discussed with you guys in video number one, was more the environment of New York, that it's a city that was not designed with beauty in mind, but it was designed with efficiency in mind, and how that can influence the environment. Then also keeping in mind that because of the location, it is a city that experiences very extreme temperatures. So you can have a lot of heat in the summer, a lot of cold in the winter, and you really only have about 2 usable seasons where people are not feeling dysregulated and like, I have to run, I have to go, I have to be doing something. I have to get out of the heat, I have to get out of the cold. So it's an environment that creates a sense of feeling ungrounded, and then you're adding that to the fact that it's a concrete jungle. So really, there's no sense of people getting connected to nature, further making them feel very ungrounded and disconnected. So in the behind the veil, what we're going to discuss today is taking a look at how New York is kind of discussed, or how it's put out there. It is said that if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So that's going to be something that's very attractive to people who have what I would call like a chink in their energetic armor, where they are not completely grounded in their sense of self and their sense of identity, where they feel a loss or a disconnect of some type, and they have a sense of having to prove themselves. So on some level, it's going to attract people that are more egocentric. And I'm specifically talking about people that are choosing to move there, either from other places around the country or even other countries around the world. So it's an attraction for people that are ungrounded and have a loss of some kind of a sense of personal identity. Now, the reason I'm also specifically focusing on the people that are choosing to move there and not the people that live there is the people that live there are kind of stuck in their own energetic vortex of what it means to be a New Yorker. And that might be a discussion for, a part 3 video perhaps, but I really want to focus on the people that are making the choice to move to New York. And why are they making the choice to move to New York? And what that energetically does to them. So someone has some sort of chink in their armor. They're not fully either realized or developed or confident in their own body and their own skin. So they're going to go to New York because they want to make it. They have something that they have to prove. So when you're already dealing with somebody that has a chink in their armor, it's easier for other energies to penetrate and get into them. Now, if someone's just starting out in New York, they move to the big city, they move to the Big Apple, they have to pay their dues. So everybody starting at the bottom has to work their way up. So these are people that are now trading further time that they can be developing their sense of self for climbing up the corporate ladder. So they're going to be working from dawn until dusk, And if they have an opportunity to socialize after work, it's probably going to be with people from the company, or they're going to be entertaining clients for the company. Are they really having an opportunity to take advantage of all of the other things that New York is said to have, which is culture and great restaurants and great nightlife? Probably not. They're more being brought in and insulated into the company culture. So now they're being disconnected further from nature. They're being disconnected further from having any sense of life outside of work. They're being disconnected probably from where they come from their families. They are here to prove themselves. So these are people, and also because they have a chink in their energetic armor, they are now primed people to have an identity erosion. So what New York is now doing to them is they have this chink. You can further get in energetically and start to erode a person's sense of self. So they become a cog in the system. You can look at it almost as if their internal sense of self has been hijacked. Something has gotten in and has, whatever sense of self and identity they had has now been extracted, and they are part of the New York culture. They are part of the work, sleep, eat, repeat. Work, sleep, eat, repeat. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Not relax, reset my nervous system, discover who I am and what I love and what I want to explore about myself and what are my gifts and what I want to bring forward. No, it's a complete eradication of all of that. So now that we understand that, why does it matter? So also, as I had discussed in the first video with you guys, that every place has an energetic blueprint, an environmental blueprint, and New York has a very, very palpable energetic blueprint that even if the lights of New York were turned off, you could still feel it. It's called the city that never sleeps. It's a place where you could walk out of your apartment at any time of day or night, go to a bodega, and they would be open. Any time of day or night, you could catch a taxi cab. And it is known for its late nightlife. So it's constantly on the go. It's constantly turned on. New York, in a very literal sense, doesn't really have an off button. So think about what that feels like, and think about how that is exploited or how that can be felt to entities in the ethers. So a way of looking at it is, here on Earth, we are in the 3D. We are in a very dense earthbound energy. We have bodies and we have souls, but we are much more in tune with our physical bodies and the things that we can physically see, touch, taste. We're a little bit more disconnected from the spiritual component, but there is many different layers to what comprises our existence. One of them is, once you get out of the gross density of the 3D, you get up into the energetic realms. In the energetic realms, there are beings that do not have bodies. How do they survive? One of the ways that they survive is on our energy, which is also called loosh. So New York is a perfect place for these entities to hang out in the etheric realm, because of the fact that there's so much loosh that is being produced there. It's being produced in the energy of the city itself, the city that never sleeps. It's being produced in the energetic exploitation of the people that are moving there and are becoming a cog in the system. And in a certain sense, you can even look at it like these people are becoming a perfect soldier, because they have already this chink in their armor where you can further get in and you can erode their sense of self, and then they become programmed to produce, to hustle, to hustle, to hustle. So they are producing a tremendous amount of this release of energy through their actions. They're not resetting their own internal nervous system and taking the energy back. It's all about the release of the energy. So these beings in the etheric realm are living off of this loosh. So it's a identity hijack of the people that are moving there. And then that creates a slave-like environment, a slave-like mentality. And again, as I had touched with in the first video, it's people being stuck in this rat race without seeing it for what it is, because their identity has been eroded. And now they are a super soldier producing this unlimited loosh for these entities. That is only one side of it. That's for the people who are choosing to move there and to live there. Think about New York also as an environment where people like to go visit. People from other states, people from other countries, they want to come to New York and have a tourist experience. That's another way that loosh is being siphoned off of these people, because it's a tremendous collection of all of these different energies coming together. So you can have people coming from all over the world. They're coming because they want to go to Broadway shows. They're coming because they want to go visit the Empire State Building. They are coming for Central Park, which you can only use for a few months out of the year. They're coming for whatever it is that they think New York has to offer. Anytime people are coming in contact with other people, our etheric bodies do this kind of energetic dance where we are trading or feeling other people's energies, whether we are aware of it or not. It's something that empaths know and feel all too well. But even for people who are actually, if you want to know the truth, people who are unaware of it are even better for siphoning off their energy, because they're so unaware, they're not absorbing it in a conscious way. So they have all of these energetic beings that are coming into their auric field. And because they don't know to ground themselves and protect their energy, they have all of these energetic, it's an accumulation of energetic tags from their travels, from their airport, from being on an airplane, from wherever else they have been visiting. And all of those energetic tags are being brought with them. And the way that I kind of look at it is it's actually kind of interesting, because New York is called a melting pot because there's people from all over the world that are coming there. It really is. I wouldn't quite say it's a melting pot. I would say it's more an energetic pot. It's a collection of all of these different energies that are contributing to the constant hum, the constant vibration that New York is expelling. And because of that, because there's so much of this energy that's being brought there and traded and accumulated, and it's just the way it actually felt, the way it actually comes through is imagine people are going into a glass dome, or a glass funnel is a better way of looking at it. They don't realize that it's a funnel. They don't realize that it's open on top. They're coming into this space, and imagine they've all had sugar and their hands are sticky. So they're all walking around and they're touching and leaving this stickiness behind in this funnel. So all of this accumulation of the sticky energy that they're bringing with them is then being funneled up into the etheric realm, where these beings are feeding on this loosh. So something that's kind of interesting to do is when you're planning on going on a holiday or on a vacation somewhere, is to think about what are the kinds of things that are being put out there for the tourists. What are the kinds of people that it's going to be attracting? And what is the energy of that place? And then to explore if that resonates with the energy in your own body, and in so much as is if it's a place that you want to go and bring your energy to. Because again, if we are not grounding ourselves and protecting our energy, then it is on some level being exploited and taken away from us. Even if we're not leaving it there, the other people that are coming in contact with it are connecting onto it and bringing it with them. The way that it almost comes through. Imagine if someone leaves a bathroom and they don't realize they've stepped on toilet paper and behind them is a long trail of toilet paper. That's what an energy tag looks like. If someone protects themselves and grounds themselves, that person who is now walking with the energy tag or the toilet paper has a much smaller piece of it, but it is still there, and that can still be harnessed in this mixing or melting pot that New York is, where it is being funneled and siphoned up to the etheric beings living on the loosh. So I hope that this video and the information has resonated with you. If it has, I would love it if you could leave a thumbs up, if you could like it, if you could comment, and if you could even subscribe, and then you'll get notifications whenever I am recording and releasing other new cool videos on energetic topics. If this video hasn't resonated, that's cool. Just take what has, leave the rest behind, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, stay in the high vibe.